Let's talk to our friend in the Centre for Migration and Economic Prosperity, Mr. Stephen Woolfe. Stephen, very good morning to you.
Very good morning, Mike.
So, I mean, we were expecting the numbers to be a bit lower, actually. I was hearing more like it would be around about 500,000. Still a big number, but 728,000 in the year to June 2024 is a lot more than I was expecting.
Absolutely, Mike. These numbers are astonishing.
Yeah.
I think for the ONS and the Home Office, they will be considerably concerning. I want to give these figures because they're going to lead to a population explosion that we're already seeing. In January of this year, Mike, the estimates from James Roberts, who does the population for the ONS, said that between the 15 years, mid-21 to 2036, our population grow to 73.7 million. Then we've got figures later on in the year saying our population is 68 million. And those estimates were based on long-term net migration of only 385,000. I've just done the calculations on that estimate now. We are expected to have 71 million people in this country by mid-26. That's 1 million more than the ONS has said. Yeah. And we're looking at towards 80 million by that 2036 figures. That's 10 million in 10 years. Yeah. At this level of growth, it's unsustainable for this country. And we should be shocked by this. We should be really worried too.
Yeah, absolutely we should, because at the end of the day, this is an increase, I think, from certainly when I was born, well, 60-odd years ago. I think it's an increase of about nearly 20 million to the general population.
Absolutely, and we're looking at historically enormous figures. I mean, I did just something for a bit of fun for people. From 1066 to 1800, our population only increased by around 10 million. We did that in the last 10 years. Yeah. So we're talking hundreds of years of explosion in population, with births coming in at around 600,000 a year, immigration at 728,000 a year. We're getting adding 1.3 to 1.5 million people every year. How can we house them? What about the costs on infrastructure? What about our roads, our schools, our hospitals? And no wonder our taxes are going up, because we're having to pay for services for so many more people. Yeah, and the services are creaking at the very seams, aren't they? I mean, there's a good reason why you can't get a dentist or a doctor, you can't get into a hospital, you can't get appointments. The reason why, you know, when you get on a train, it's absolutely rammed and you can't find a seat. There's more people here than there have ever been. And I've never seen London so packed. I don't know what to say about it. Absolutely, and that's one of the issues that the Conservatives, you just had on talking about immigration and how they're going to control it. We've just seen an episode on the BBC, I'm afraid. I was on that immigration programme that they're talking about, where you saw Boris Johnson admit that he wanted to see more immigration coming into this country to have into jobs. He said that we didn't have enough people to do the jobs in this country. Well, the reason we don't have more people to do it is because we keep bringing more people in. Yeah. If you bring more people in, you need more doctors, you need more nurses, you need more people in care homes, you need more people dealing with the bins. You just generally need more people to do more jobs. Yeah. So it's like an immigration Ponzi scheme.
It really is, and the problem is that an awful lot of the numbers of people who are coming in are a net drain on the business of Britain, because they do need various things paid for. They do get benefits, they do get kind of help from the state, or they bring people with them who need help from the state, or they have children that need help from the state. You know, it's a sort of ever increasing cycle of despair.
I think we've got to be really worried and concern ourselves about how we're going to look at population, and the governments need to be honest about this. The Labour Party currently is absolutely dishonest about a number of factors. Firstly, controlling illegal migration over the Channel. We know that they're not going to stop it, and they're certainly not going to stop the gangs with no deterrent policy. They are not really changing the legal migration routes into this, although we have seen, thankfully, some of the impact of the Conservative government's decision to not allow students to bring their families over. I mean, why did we do that in the first place? That's like
bonkers.
Nonsense.
Absolutely bonkers.
But the Labour Party is not changing the rules sufficiently enough on income to stop people coming into this country. So whilst we're seeing jobs being lost in like Stellantis and Vauxhall, you know, and things like that, we're going to see that jobs decline in this country, but the population increase. And what will that lead to? Whenever you see in history large population increases and there is an increased demand for services and food, it causes a lot of friction between people. And I think we're going to see more of that, sadly.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. Sorry to say. Stephen Woolfe, thanks very much indeed, Director of the Centre for Migration and Economic Prosperity, on the numbers of net immigration. Just been announced, 728,000 in the year to June 2024.